Hello everyone, welcome back to our My 2020 tutorial series on painting weights with our construction worker here. So the last lesson we were working on the head and the arm. Let's go ahead and take a look and see where we're at. So still got a little bit of pulling on this side right here. Head is good. This part right here though I'm not really content with. So let's go ahead and go to that same approach we went last time where we just grab some of these vertexes right in here. So all these ones right here, let's go ahead and let's nab all of these. And we're going to go to Windows, General Editors, Component Editor, and we're going to go back to our Skin Weights tool. There we are. Okay, so what should we have that's affecting this? The left arm, left forearm. Shouldn't have anything from the forearm affecting it at all. So let's just go up here and zero this all out. Okay, and let's see here. Okay, so that actually looks all appropriate, but I feel like the left arm up here might be affecting it a little bit too much. So I'm gonna zero this out for a second and probably undo. I just want to see how much weight's actually coming into here. That's actually not too bad, but we're going to have to give some of it back in here. So let's go back to our other tool. So we'll go back to our paint weights tool, and we need to unisolate because I need to be able to see the joints again. Show joints. Looks like I have to pause for a second just because my son is running around the dog outside while I'm recording. Great. I'm recording. Take the dog outside. Sorry guys. Alright, continuing on. I just told him I was recording. I don't know why he decided he wanted to do that game. Alright, sorry. That's besides the point. Select influence. Alright, so some of this is like needs to be coming down here still. So let's see if we can smooth some of this out. So I'm just gonna hold down shift and try to smooth some of this. And that'll give some of the weight back down here. So I'm just holding down shift. That's all I'm doing. And then just dragging a little bit, and that's just distributing some of this influence down here. So it's making it a little bit more smooth. And that can come down here a little bit as well, which makes it to where, even though we're pulling away from this spot earlier, we want there to be just a smidge of it, like 0.1 or 0.2%. That way, as the arm comes up, it does deform a little bit, but there's not a whole bunch. So that looks good. I don't think there'd be any in the back over here though, so let's go ahead and remove this while we're over here. So let's bring this back down to 0. And we'll just get rid of all this. Okay, maybe smooth it out a little bit. Remove it and smooth it out. Okay, I'm content with this part here. That looks pretty good. Let's go address the other side. Now, I mentioned earlier that mirroring the weights might have been an option. And traditionally it would work, and it might still work on ours, but the problem is that they have like this different stuff down here, and it's not quite symmetrical like how the hat's tilted. So how the weights might come over might not actually be mirrored or work the way we want. So I'm just going to do it by hand. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. It just takes a little longer. So let's go ahead and take a look at this joint here to begin with. Okay, so coming up over here, you know, we don't want anything on this. Remove all of it on the back side here. Okay. It might be easier if I just grab a component or go to the component editor on some of this. So I'm just gonna do what I can right there. Let's go down a joint because I feel like some of this actually might be coming from this joint up here as well. So let's select this one. Yeah, just like I suspected. Shouldn't have anything from the forearm down this area. And I feel like some of this stuff right in here will probably be better served if we just go ahead and jump right into the component editor rather than trying to paint it away. So I'm going to close this for a moment. We're going to go back to the component editor. We'll go to vertex mode. We'll just select all the problem vertexes of this whole area right in here. We don't want any of that to be included. Probably this whole chunk right here too. Grab some of this. All right, so we'll go to Windows, General Editors, and Component Editor. Okay, and so we don't need there to be the right forearm. Should be zeroed out. Let's go ahead and just bring that off. Okay. Oh, accidentally had some of. Don't want those ones. That should go to the forearm. Okay, so let's go back over here. We'll zero these ones out. We'll zero all that out. There we go. Left arm. Yeah, let's zero that out. Okay. This looks like these are fingers, so let's go ahead and see how many of those we can get in a row. Okay. Let's zero all those out. Okay, let's keep going. There's another finger. Those are all fingers. Okay, down to the bottom of this one, where it says joint 8. Okay, let's keep going. Thumb. Alright, that was pretty good. Got a little change there. What else? Let's get it away from the clavicles too. Okay, so now we're just with the hips, knees, spine, wrist. We don't want the wrist. Oh, there we go. That took care of most of it. Okay. That's good. I think we just have this one trouble one here. That one, let's put 0 there. Let's also zero that out. There we go. That's better. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and soften up the influence again and bring back the influence to the areas we need it. So these areas in here, actually I want to, before I go into that, I want to nab this chunk right here. There we go. One more time. All right, so that's good. Now we can go back and go back to our paintway tool. And we'll add back in some of that influence. So we'll just soften this up. I'm just holding down Shift and just smoothing this geometry here out so that way it still comes out a little bit. It's still influenced a little bit, but it doesn't come out like it did before. Okay. And I want to remove this bit right here. All right, let's see what we got now. That actually isn't too bad. Let's go ahead and look at some of the other areas that are trouble down here. So I'm gonna go back to just my geometry. I'm gonna isolate it just so I can isolate the problem areas. So like there's this renegade right there and some renegades right down here. Let's just grab like this whole section right here, because really nothing should be from the arms affecting this at all. So let's go ahead and just make sure that's the case. So again, back into our component editor, general editors, component editor, and ankle's fine, right arm, no. And let's see if that eliminated most of it. No, it did not. Okay, what else we got? That foot, right. Forearm, yes, we want to get rid of that one. And what else we got? That joint there is unnamed, that is a finger, so we don't want that. There's another finger. There's a bunch of fingers. Well, that took care of a lot of it. But we still have the wrist. Let's get rid of that one. That should clear up pretty much all the rest of it. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now I don't see anything pulling down the legs. Ooh, I do see something on the other side though, but that's probably for this side over here. So let's go ahead and fix that while we're at it though. So same thing, I'll just select all of these vertexes here. Yep, all right, so let's see here. Joints, there's some fingers that are in there still influencing. Okay, so that's good. There's some more fingers. Okay, so that's good. Let's close that down. Okay, so the arms are good, the head is good. All right, so we got some good motion going on there. Let's go ahead and move on to the legs. Okay, so we need to unisolate for now, and we're going to, we can remove the animation from the arms for now. We don't really need it. Oops, accidentally created a play blast somehow by just right mouse button dragging. Must have dragged over to where some hotkey for play blast. I don't even see where it's at. Man, that's a new one for me. All right. I would say learn new things, but I don't even know how I did that. All right, so highlight this area here, right mouse button. Oh, there it is, play blast at the bottom on the time slider. I'm learning new things. All right, so anyways, we're deleting these keyframes, so we're just gonna go to delete. There we go. All right, there's the other controller. We're gonna highlight this one, right mouse button on the red, and go to delete. Now, remember, don't ever press delete when you highlight these keyframes, otherwise you'll delete the objects that are connected to those keyframes. Just a heads up if you're new to animation. Okay, we can delete the animation for the head. We don't need that anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and test out the hips. Let's see here if there's anything funky with those. No, that looks okay. How about this one here? Nope, that's good. Good. Okay. So the foot. Let's go and see what's broken on the foot. It doesn't look too bad, really. Just a little bit right in there. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do, we'll start with this one, keyframe this side. Oops. We're going to go to frame 20. So I'm going to put that back down on frame 1 here. And then on frame 60, let's also have it go over here. Frame 80, I'll have it come back. And let's just do a foot roll. Roll actually looks good too. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of problems with the legs. I like that. Cool. Looks like we'll wrap up the weights in this particular lesson. All right, so it might run a little bit long as I have to do both sides, but all right. So the problem that I'm mainly seeing is the pulling that's happening on this side right here and up here. So if I go ahead and select the geometry, go to vertexes here, and I select these ones and these ones. Let's make sure that there's nothing from the right side pulling on them. I think that we could have a little bit of pull up here. But we don't want it down in here. Maybe like the knee pads and whatnot. Okay, so let's go back to our component editor. It'll just be faster. And let's just make sure that everything on the right says right and there's no left ones. Like there's a left one right here. Let's just zero the ones that say left out. And that took care of that one. Is there any other ones that say left? Oh, there's a left right there. Okay. Anything else? Left knee. Left toe. Didn't quite get the leg all the way out. Left knee. There we go. And the left toe. That should be it, I think. Yep. All right, so that's good. Let's go ahead and re-scrub it. Oh, I still got a little troubler down there. All right, you. Missed a couple that were right in there. little teeny pulls, but I'm okay with the rest of it. That looks good. All right, so now I have to do the reverse, but do the other side as well. Oops. Okay, let's get rid of the joints for now because they're getting in the way. Joints have the selection hierarchy privilege, so... Oh, really? Even when I'm isolated? Interesting. So if they're in view, they'll be selected first. Okay, we'll isolate. I thought that we can just make it to where they aren't visible, but apparently not. Okay. So now we're doing the reverse. We want to get rid of everything that says right. So we're just going to zero out the right side. Oops. All right, right side. Any other rights? There we go. Right knee. Is this one? Okay. What else? Right. There's a right. And to right. All right, so that's all good. All right, so now he's weighted. That's good. Let's do one last test. I just want to make sure that the root joint isn't causing any issues. Sometimes the root joint gets some influence and then causes, yeah, see down there? Okay, that's what I thought. So we don't want the root to actually affect anything. I know it's the top of the hierarchy, but we don't want it to actually affect anything. So what we're going to do, we'll go back and show joints again. And we'll just, actually, no, we'll go the other route. I was going to say we can paint it away, but let's just select all these vertexes here that would be influenced by the root. And then we're going to go to the component editor, general editors, component editor, and we're just going to look for the root joint and remove all the influence from it. So there's the root, and we'll just zero all this out. That way when we do hip sways, the joint that hangs out down here doesn't cause this area here to act all weird. So let's go ahead and test that out. There we go. So there is still a little bit of sway inside down here, but it's not because of the root, it's just because of the influence between the two different legs. So that's good. All right, so I'm going to save the scene, and for now, the weighting's actually done. It's ready to be animated. Got the arm situated, got the leg situated, the head works, the rest of the body's all good. So thanks for watching on how to paint weights. In the next lesson series I'm going to do is going to be on animation, so we'll go ahead and do some animation with this guy and do a walk cycle, a run cycle, and a couple other various movements. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video series.